Hello, welcome to Laughing All the Way. I have a guest today, Matt Westcott, who I've known for
upwards of 9 years.
Oh,
8.5, 9 years.
8.5, 9 years. And when I first knew Matt, he was much younger, and so was I. But he only had 8 tattoos, and now he has
27.
27. So I wanted Matt to come today we're going to talk about tattoos and why he has them and what it feels like to get them. We might not want to listen through that. So we're going to just go ahead and start talking to Matt.
All right.
Okay, so you knew why you had to come, right?
Yeah. I've been in the tattoo chair for I don't know how many hours now. I have a Joker theme on my right arm. It goes all the way up.
Cal, it's got words.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a quote by Heath Ledger in the movie. Introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. And one down here it says, "Why so serious?" Anybody that has seen the movie would know,
why you did that.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen the movie.
I just wanted some quotes from him, and came out pretty good. And with the tattooing, I got used to it. At first, it was a little sore.
Is that an understatement?
Yeah. But when you've sat through 3 separate tattoos that have taken upwards of 2.5, 3 hours, it gets okay. I mean, at one point you start to go, "Oh God, I just wish it would be over,"
Because it's painful.
Yeah.
How painful? Well, you've never had a child. Your wife could probably answer that one. But I mean, what is it? What's it comparable to? Because a lot of people have needle phobias. So the thought of one needle just given a shot is enough to send some people over the edge. But is this like multiple needles? I mean,
well, the outline is just one needle, and it goes all the way around, does the intricate designs around his face and some of his hair and stuff, and then it switches to the color and the shading, and that's a 4-needle process that are going constantly on your skin all at once.
So is it like a little machine, or does
Oh
it
yeah,
just...
it pinpricks your skin at almost supersonic speed. And
oh my gosh.
When you get close to the end, especially with portrait tattoos, it gets to feel like a sunburn, and you feel like you're ready to stop. But when it's done and the healing process, it depends on the person. For me, it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It starts to cover over, scab over, and then it falls off, and it's part of your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And but sitting in the chair after a while, it kind of gets annoying.
Well, when you said that you got that and it is like a sunburn, so one time, a long time ago, when that was when you had just your first girl, Haley. I think that you have a tattoo of Haley on one of your upper thighs.
Yeah, I have Haley on this leg right here. And I have Hannah, my second daughter, over here. Haley's now almost 8 years old.
Okay.
And Hannah will be 5 this winter.
So how old is the portrait of them? They were little at the time.
They were little, yeah.
Okay.
They one for Haley. I had a picture from when she turned 1 year old.
Okay.
And Hannah was, I think it was 2, because we didn't get to the portrait studio in time, and I found a photo that I really liked. And then Madison, I just did it probably 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. And Madison is?
Yeah, she's up here. And it took a little while, but he did it faster because he had already been skilled with the whole thing. This is Tom Ball at Tatanka Tattoo. He's very good.
So has he done all of your tattoos?
All except for 2.
Okay.
I have one on my hand which never quite got finished, and I still got to work on it because you wash your hands so much, it just and I have a phobia with washing my hands. So
wouldn't that be almost more painful though? I mean,
it wasn't actually that bad because she didn't set the needle. It was the first time she'd ever done a tattoo on my hand or on anybody's hand, and she didn't set the needle only to about half depth, and that's one of the factors with the fact that when you wash your hands, it just came off. The ink came out of the skin. And then I have one on my wrist that's just a dragon symbol, a Chinese symbol for dragon. And those were done by 2 different artists.
Okay, what was the first tattoo that you got?
It would be over here on my shoulder.
Okay.
Which is kind of incorporated into the... it was just a regular flash design that I picked out from a poster. Flash art is what you just walk into the studio and you see something on the wall and you want to get it. So
Yeah, somebody's already made it.
yeah,
But this
it was my
guy
20th
did
birthday.
himself. Okay.
Yeah, it was my 20th birthday. Well, he didn't do it. He gets all the designs from somebody else, and he did. You know, with the other ones, I brought in my designs. I printed them out and brought the design to him and said what I wanted. The one on my wrist here, the words. I just told him I want these colors. Do whatever you could. You know, do something that looks cool. And he made like a wristband, and that's the that'll be the end of the sleeve. I've still got a little work on shading here, and I've got a couple, you know, cards from the movie that he uses.
So when you say that he gets, I'm just trying, because I don't know how many people know about tattoos, how you do them. I'm remembering back, my dad was in World War II, and it was common to see men from World War II, and they'd have like one tattoo.
Yeah,
you know, it was like, yeah,
Navy.
sailors. He was in the Navy. And then Vietnam, there were some friends of mine but they had like one tattoo. So when you say that he puts it on, does he take the picture and copy by looking at it, or does he put the image on and then trace over it?
They have a process. They have a light board, and they outline the image, and he has the printer off on the other side of his studio, and he prints out this purple, like a purple outline of it, and then he brings it over and he puts it on the skin, and it peels off like a temporary tattoo, and then he just fills in the dots from there.
Okay.
And it's a good process. Yeah. You were talking about the Navy and everything. Back in the day, it was common more for men, but now with women, a lot of them are getting tattoos too, including my wife, who's got 3. And it was painful for her. She doesn't deal with pain.
That's it. I'm done with it. And never more. Well, she had the 3 kids, so give her a break.
Yeah, she's done with that pain.
She's done her pain. So, what was your very first tattoo? Was it the one under your?
No, that was this one that I already showed you.
And then the dragon? Or?
I got this one at one point. Probably, I think it was 2003. We were going to the studio. She got her first tattoo on the same day, and we accidentally we kind of got in a car crash on the way there.
Gosh.
Our car got pushed into a guardrail by somebody that wasn't very nice. But it only scraped the side, scared the hell out of us.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But we got through it, and it was a story to tell about the first time that she got a tattoo.
That was a sign. No.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, with all of your all of your tattoos have a story, pretty much. Now, the Joker, you said that you liked that movie, but was any of it involved with the fact that Heath Ledger died at an early age? Was it like in memory of him? Because he was a really fine actor.
Well, yeah. This was my first one here on my wrist. It was just black and white, gray and everything, but I made sure that he did the lips with the red so it stood out. And I did that for Heath Ledger because I thought it was cool, and I thought he did a great job in the acting role. But then my tattoo artist, Tom, he says, you should elaborate on that and maybe make a sleeve out of that or something else you come up with. I said, well, that sounds like a good idea. So from there, I just been looking up designs. I find them on the internet, Google or whatever, and it works out pretty good that way.
So when you get a tattoo, is it usually, like the first one was for when you turn 20?
Yeah.
Then is it usually like a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, or is it just
it's
income tax came?
Yeah, well, that's been a case a couple times. We've gone during tax time to, right after.
Yeah.
And that's when I got my portrait of Madison done, was around that time. And but usually I just say, hey, birthday gift. That's what I had for my birthday this year. Got to go in, get a tattoo. That's what I said. I said, Bev, that's what I want. Don't want anything else. Go to the tattoo parlor. Maybe something for lunch. That'd be nice too.
Lunch I would make sure to have.
So I went and I got the words here, and I got the little chibi here, with him. And she thinks it looks like him holding a pencil, but it's supposed to be a little tiny knife.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was a little sore because you have to bend your arm so many times a day. When I stretched it out, it kind of bothered me. But once I healed it, don't feel like anything anymore.
So while it heals, it pretty much feels like a bad sunburn. Because I remember when you got the one for Haley, I saw you guys and you had shorts on and you had like a big gauze over it.
Yeah.
With some kind of cream?
Yeah, A&D ointment.
Okay.
That's what I've always used because that's what he uses, and it just works. A paper towel and do ointment at nighttime, and during the day I just put a little lotion on, and that seems to work at least 4 times a day. And at night I cover it up, I bandage it, which is kind of a pain in the butt when she's working.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there just trying to hold my arm and hold the bandage
And the girls
wrap
aren't
it.
good. They're not old enough to really bandage it yet.
Haley maybe, being almost 8, but
Yeah.
she might put up an attitude beforehand.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do that for you? But
Have you ever been sorry that you got a tattoo?
yeah, on the back of my leg, I got one with a former friend, and we didn't work it out. So we kind of broke it off a couple of years. Okay, not so. About 9 years ago, sorry. And I told Bev, I said, I'm going to cover that up. So I got Spider-Man, and it's a full cover-up tattoo on the back of my leg.
So you covered up a previous tattoo that didn't have good memories.
Yeah, and the Spider-Man came out pretty good.
Yeah.
You can't even tell the Chinese symbol was there. It was a bright red and blue. And now it's a bright red and blue Spider-Man. But, yeah.
So it seems like you have a big theme of superheroes.
Yeah.
You have Spider-Man, you have, well, the Joker's not really a superhero, but the other one in the corner kind of was a Phantom.
Which one? This one?
That first one?
Oh,
is that
this one?
kind
This
of
is
a-
Grim Reaper.
Oh,
It
well,
was
okay, that's
something
not
I
really a
like.
superhero.
Yeah,
You don't
not
want to
really
see
Superman.
him coming.
I've got Superman up on this side of my arm,
Okay.
and I've got a portrait of Christopher Reeve on my shoulder. And I'm thinking about elaborating on that into maybe a half sleeve someday, and then do something else down here.
But someday you want to have 2 full sleeves.
Yeah, that's the plan. I might. A lot of people say that you might, when you get older, you're going to get wrinkles, and it's not going to look so good. Well, at least with the portraits, the kids will age, and so will the portraits. They'll have little wrinkles.
Well, the other thing is your eyes will get worse. You won't notice.
Yeah, everybody else. Who cares?
Yeah,
Everybody
people
else is
see it,
gonna
but
look.
you're like, oh, it looks good to me.
Yeah,
My
totally.
glasses off, I can't tell a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it now. I can't see anything without my glasses on.
See, so it works out well. Huh. So, Bev decided to get tattoos. Now, was that something she wanted, or was that something that you thought she would like?
I think that she kind of maybe when I got mine done that fall, 2003. She might have thought that maybe since I was getting one, maybe it was something neat to do, and wanted to get one to have permanently. And she picked out a design that she liked.
And how big was her tattoo?
It's on her lower back, and it's about a little bigger than the bottom of the coffee cup here.
Okay. But she didn't go for...
No, nothing big, but still a very painful spot, she said.
Yes.
I've never actually had one there, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I had one between my shoulder blades on my spine. It's a gargoyle, and I got that back, I think 2001, 2002.
Ouch.
And
I mean,
that was the
sounds-
most painful tattoo I've ever had. I was ready to be done just because he was going over the spine in between my shoulder blades. But the rest of them, like especially with my arm, I could sit there for hours and get it done. I might feel numb after from the lack of blood flow through my fingers, but
Yeah. But it
everything
doesn't
else was
bother you.
fine. Yeah.
Have you ever had a bad experience? Well, like you said, that hurt on your spine, but nothing else. You ever have a funny experience happen while you were in the tattoo parlor?
I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. I mean, we sit there and joke and shoot the breeze, but we haven't ever had too many funny things happen. I mean,
He's pretty serious. Well, he does good work.
Yeah, he'll sit there and chat with you while he's doing it and talk about your life. He remembers you after a while, and
Well,
that's
at
always
least
nice.
remembers your body parts.
Yeah.
The pictures, if nothing else, right?
Sometimes when I come back, he's like, "I forgot you got that. That looks pretty good."
Yeah.
But he's a great guy. He's getting up there in years, and he's been doing it for, I think, since '91. So 21 years, something like that. He's been doing tattooing, and I just happened to meet him because one of my friends, who we were best friends in high school, a guy named Matt Welton, we hung out a lot, and he says, "I'm going to go get a tattoo, and I want you to come with me." I said, "Sure, I'll drive you up there." And we went, and it was over in Lyme, New Hampshire at the time, and he moved his shop since then. Now it's over in East Thetford. And he says, well, come along with me and we'll check the place out. And I'm going to get my tattoo done. And that's how I met Tom Ball. And ever since, he's been my tattoo artist.
And that was before you had any tattoos?
Yeah, that was before. That was the fall before, fall of 2000. Yeah, right after high school.
So when was the first time that you decided that you wanted a tattoo?
Pretty much that same day. I was like, I want to come back here, but I can't afford it right now. So I'm going to save up, come back here on my birthday, set up an appointment with him, and I called him back in something like March or something, set up an appointment for June, and got my first tattoo on my birthday.
So how much are tattoos? I have no idea.
Depending on the size and everything.
You can give a range. You don't have to talk about.
Yeah, well, I had done several here, and they're like, 100, 125, 150, whatever, depending on the size. And I got up to this one. He saw this design. My tattoo artist, in a magazine. He says, if I can copy that and do it for you, I will give you a discount. He says, usually it'd be upwards of $300 for something like this.
Because of the colors? If you get more colors, does it go up?
Yeah, and it was a full color portrait. You don't usually do them. He says, and I'll show the camera anyway. He says, if you come in and do this, I'll charge you half price. He charged me $150 for almost 3 hours of work to do all the little increments and detail and everything. And I was in GameStop a while back, and I had a father and son come up to me and said, can we see your arm? And pull up my sleeve and showing them all my tattoos. They're like, yeah, the little boy liked this one, and the father liked my elbow or something. I have a clown, the Joker clown mask that he uses during the robbery scene at the beginning of the movie on my elbow. And that was a little painful just because of where it's located, right on that bone.
Yeah.
After a while going over that bone with a tattoo needle, it's not so much
Sorry,
fun,
if I think about it, I get the shivers.
I seem to ramble on a lot when I get to talk.
It's fine. I'm glad. I want you to ramble on. The thing that I find, because I see a lot of people, because I deal with a lot of young people through the day. I see a lot of young people. And
we were once there.
You were once people I knew. But, it's very common to have tattoos, and I can appreciate that, but all I think of is pain. I mean, I think of it and I think needles, ouch. So I always kind of shiver a little bit when I see it, because I'm trying to get past the fact that I know that there were all those needles poking you.
Well, it's like being on TV. First time you're nervous, but then you get over it. You just start talking, shooting the breeze.
Just
whatever.
like now, right?
Yeah.
You're not nervous.
I mean, the first few times I went, I was nervous, but then I got over it. Now when I go, it's just like, hey, tattoo me. I'm not going to move.
Yeah.
I'll be good. And it just takes time.
Yeah. Has he ever had instances where he was in the middle of a tattoo and somebody quit? Have you ever talked about
not that I've seen. I mean,
or start crying or need a Valium.
Some people, they react to pain more. So in the middle of a tattoo that's 3-4 hours long, they've passed out before. So he's good about offering drinks or breaks in between when he's changing needles or
they've passed out. They've fainted.
Yeah, they've passed out and fainted and stuff like that.
Because of the pain.
Or it could just be because the amount of time on one spot, especially with back tattoos. I've heard stories of people that were just sitting there taking it and they just fall asleep in the seat. That's pretty much it. They just go white and pass out. They wake up 5-10 minutes later, whatever, and have a drink, and they're good to go. They're ready to go again.
I don't know. I think there has to be an easier way to have fun. But
in the long run, I mean, they're permanent. They don't disappear.
Yeah, that's the thing that would frighten me. They're permanent. They don't disappear.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
this
every day
is my
you
favorite
still like
out of
it.
all of them on my arm anyway. I always like it because he added all the detail of the buildings, the Chicago back scene from the movie.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm looking at it because I can see it close, and he really did do an amazing job. I mean, there's so much. There's this one scene where he was. I remember
Where
he
he's
got
sitting in the
caught.
jail?
They caught him.
Yeah, and he escapes anyway. Let's
Yeah.
just say that.
Yeah, I have to say that I saw that movie. We went to the theater, and we don't usually go to the theater because we prefer to be at home in our pajamas with the remote and our own food. But we went to go see that, and it was 2 hours. If it was 2 hours and 48 minutes long, I was scared for 2 hours and 42 minutes. I was just petrified. Though that guy scared me.
Did a great job in his character role.
He scared me so. I was so scared of him.
Yeah, you watch like 10 Things I Hate About You or Knight's Tale, and it's a totally different character, and you can't even tell.
Yeah.
You can't even tell his character in this. You know, he was let loose on his role. And
did a good job.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that one because our kids were little, but we went and saw Dark Knight Rises this past summer when we had daycare. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Bane. Bev didn't even believe Tom Hardy. That was Tom Hardy when I showed her a picture of him with hair and everything.
Yeah, that was
totally different guy.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun to do. So, what's going to be the next tattoo, and when is it going to happen?
Well, like I said, probably shading on this arm, and then when I'm done here, I might start on this side. Okay. You know, with Superman, or I've been thinking over, you know, something video game related. We're big video game fanatics. I mean, you follow me on Facebook anyway, so it's always something with video games or Joker or something.
It's something. Well, it's funny because you're a real mix, because you have that, but then there's always a lot about your girls too.
Yeah.
You can talk about your girls because they're pretty great.
Yeah, they have their days, which all kids do with lack of sleep, especially after school. But they are a riot now. Madison's starting to talk more now, and Hannah, ever since she started, she won't stop.
Yes, that's
Haley too. Yeah. Haley being 8 years old, or almost 8 years old, she'll just talk your ear off. She got her catalog, you know, a catalog we get in the mail. She'll be looking at it, showing me every picture. Yeah,
what she needs. So she's in first grade now?
Second grade.
She's in second grade.
Yeah, she just started second grade.
And how old's Hannah?
Hannah will be 5. So she's going to go to elementary school next year.
Okay, and Madison's right behind her.
Yeah, Madison will be, 2 more years, I think, until she starts kindergarten. But you know, I watch them 3 days a week when Bev's working. Yeah, with her job, she's out of the house for 3 nights. Yeah, and you get to know your kids more when you're a stay-at-home dad. Yeah,
that's really true. That's really true.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing. I mean, being that stay-at-home with them all those times, they get really close.
Yeah, they tend to side with me more than they do with their mom sometimes.
Yeah. Which you don't mind at all, right?
Yeah. There's days. I mean, Madison will follow Mom around as soon as she walks in the door, but the other two seem to come over to me and ask me things, and sometimes Haley, depending on her attitude. It's either me or her mom. But,
it depends. And so you guys have been married for how long now?
8 years. We've been together for, it was 9 years in August. Yeah. Wow. But it was June 21st, 2004 that we got married. And, well, you were there.
I was there.
Yeah. You're sitting on one of the metal chairs
I was there.
that you brought yourself.
I know. It was great. I was glad to be there. I remember coming to your wedding. I remember coming to the hospital after Haley was born. Remember that? I mean, Cal.
I think we still got pictures somewhere.
Yeah. We go back a long way. Yeah. And this is funny because probably the cameras are, sometimes I'm looking off. Well, that's because his wife is behind him. So I'm nodding to her quite a bit. And we won't pick her up because
she's trying to hide. She's trying to hide behind the light over there.
But I wanted to tell you.
She's turning red like a bee.
Oh, good. She's even holding up signs to tell us how much time we've got left because I can see her as opposed to everybody else. So what I did today is one of the things that I always do at the thing is I bring something to make this seem more like home instead of the studio here, which is really, really comfortable. So I brought candy, which you can take home.
All right.
For your
hype the kids up so they'll run on.
Yes, hype the kids up. And then the other thing that I got is I thought today that I was going to. This was Russ's idea. That he said I should get my first tattoo. So what I did this morning.
Temporary tattoo?
I got a temporary tattoo. I went to Walgreens and I had to call last night and ask him to put aside this little kid pack.
Yeah.
So. Imagine me sitting in the parking lot at Walgreens with a wet napkin and this little thing. So I have, and I'm not very good because I couldn't put it on, so I was playing with it, and I have, look at that, this is not even, but I put on a temporary tattoo.
Hey, why not?
Isn't that nice?
It's bright and colorful.
And then I was having so much fun that I went on this side and I put a skull.
Yeah.
So that's probably all I'm going to do. But Russ thought it would be a good idea. So what I did do with them, though, is I have the extra ones and I wanted to give them to you guys
Okay.
because they're little girls' ones.
Yeah.
There's if they're skull and crossbones, they have a bow on them.
Yeah, the kids have been addicted to those temporary tattoos. Like
Yeah.
Hannah likes Hello Kitty.
Oh, so she has Hello Kitty tattoos.
So she's got little Hello Kitty temporary tattoos on her arm. Well, they fell off in the bath this morning, but
Yeah.
Madison still got hers.
Yeah. Well,
Same
now,
thing.
Now they have some more. These are like hearts and things.
Yeah,
But,
Haley will love them. Haley's been into this like Ruby Gloom or what's that, Monster High all the kids like now?
Yeah.
She's got a Monster High backpack, and that's what she wants for her birthday. Anything Monster High.
So this will go well.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
good. So that about wraps it up. I mean, I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
Because I think you gave us more information about tattoos and just the procedure and
The whole 9 yards.
pain, and why you do it. You do it because you enjoy what you have.
Yeah.
Body
it's-
art.
With anybody with piercing or body art.
Yeah.
It's nothing to shy away from. I mean, when you have a job, you have to cover it up, which I did when I worked at a local hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't say it on the air.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
And
we
then
do.
you have your girls because.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Because I just want to make a memoriam, to them, have something to do with them on me, and they love it. They're always wanting to see their tattoos. When they get older, I'm going to have them sign something, and then I'm going to have the tattoo artist put their names underneath, maybe their birth dates around it too.
Yeah. And then it'll be their signature on it.
Yeah.
That's good. So what do you got on there to remember Bev? That clown? No, I'm
Well, right now, I mean, I've got the sword here, which I got 10 days before our wedding day.
Okay.
And I've got this one, which was the day that we went and we
crashed
got in
the
the car
car.
accident
So
with her first tattoo the same day.
so you remember it that way. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And that was Laughing All the Way. Stay tuned. We'll have more people in the weeks to come. Bye.